everybody, this is me Vinu Venkatesh on behalf of SAI Education for Competitive Examinations. How are you all doing? I hope you are enjoying the week and your studies. So we're going to start with part 2 of simple and compound interest. We did part 1 yesterday. I do hope you're following the lectures. So let's get our books and pens together and get started. All right, number 11. We finished number 10 yesterday, so number 11. A man invests rupees 3,500 into two parts at simple interest, one at 4% and the other at 6%. Okay, if his yearly income from investment is rupees, this is not R, this is rupees 170, how much did he invest at 6%? So they have explained it here. Let me do it in my own way. So the principal, as they have said, is rupees 3,500. How do we know it's the principal? Because it's the amount invested. Let the first part be rupees X, which is invested at R1 at 4%. Therefore, second part will be 3,500 minus X, right? And this is invested at R2 or 6%. Then they are saying that the yearly income. So what is his income? So the simple interest from the first part, SI1 plus SI2, simple interest from the second part, they're saying is 170 rupees. Therefore, income in the first year will be, what is simple interest from the first part? It is X into 4% into 1 by 100, right? Plus 3,500 minus X into 6 by 100 into 1. Why? Because it's 1 year. This equals 170. So when you solve for X, you will get 2,000. So this is the amount which is invested at 4%. We are asked, what is the amount invested at 6%? So very simple, amount invested at 6% is nothing but 3,500 minus X, right? This 3,500 minus 2,000 is 1,500, and that is the correct answer, is number B. Okay, all right. So let us just recap what we have done for simple interest. We said simple interest for 1 year is equal to amount invested P into the time that it is invested for in years, which is denoted by N, and the rate of interest, that is divided by R. And the amount at the end of 1 year, that is total amount that I get at the end of 1 year, is the original amount invested plus the simple interest for that 1 year, which is this. Let us say that this is the simple interest for the first year, SI1. SI2, how is it calculated? It is the same formula. The original amount invested into N here will again be 1 year because it's for the second year into R by 100. Okay. And amount 2 will be equal to A1 plus P plus SI2. Okay. Now, we're going to study something new called compound interest. What is compound interest? In compound interest, the amount at the end of year N is equal to original amount invested into 1 plus R by 100, the whole thing in brackets raised to N. Why is this a difference? I'll tell you why. In the first year, the simple interest and compound interest will be the same. But in the second year onwards, what happens is, we said that in the second year, simple interest is still calculated on this P, which is the original amount invested. Whereas in compound interest, the compound interest will be calculated on A1. So every year you are increasing the amount of interest that you will earn every year, because the amount on which you calculate the compound interest will be equal to the amount at the end of the previous year. Whereas in simple interest, the interest will be the same for each year. That is a difference. Okay. We'll do question 12 later. Let us do number 13. Question number 13. The difference between SI, that is simple interest, and compound interest on rupees 1,250, rupees 1,250, 1,250 for 2 years at 4% per annum is what? Okay. So the principal here is clearly rupees 1,250. Rate of interest is 4% per annum and N is 2 years. Therefore, SI is equal to PNR. SI for both years is equal to PNR by 100. You know the calculation. It gives us SI of 100. How do we calculate compound interest? First, we have to calculate the amount at the end of 2 years. How do you do that? It is 1250 into 1 plus r by 100, the whole thing raised to 2. Why 2? Because it is 2 years. So you are calculating interest for first year and second year, and then you are getting the amount also, but at the end of the 2 years. Okay, so this is amount at the end of 2 years, which you get it as 1352. Therefore, compound interest is amount at the end of 2 years minus original amount invested, which will give me rupees 102. Therefore, the difference between compound interest and simple interest is nothing but rupees 2, which is what they also got. So 14 is very straightforward. You simply have to find the compound interest. You do it the way we did it. 15 and 16 are also same, so I'm not doing it. Let's do number 17. I hope it's clear so far. If the simple interest on a sum of money at 5% per annum for 3 years is rupees 1200, find the compound interest on the same sum for the same period at the same rate. All right. So let the amount invested or the principal be equal to x. So the simple interest is x into 3 years into 5%, which is 1200. Therefore, x is equal to rupees 8000. That is the original amount of money or the principal. Alright, now that we have the principal, let us start calculating compound interest. So first we have to calculate the amount at the end of 3 years, which is equal to principal into 1 plus r by 100, which is 1 plus 5 by 100, which is 1 plus 0.05, which will give me 1.05. The whole thing raised to 3. 3 because n is equal to 3. So amount at the end of 3 years, you will get it as 9261. Therefore, compound interest would be amount minus principal, which is 9261 minus 8000. You get 1261, which is the correct answer. Okay. Hope this is clear. They have given a way of doing it, but I prefer to do it this way, the one that we discussed, because you will understand better. Now, number 18 is similar to number 13. I would like you all to try it out. You will have to use a formula and solve for r. They have given a way of doing it, but I prefer you do it the way we discussed because you'll understand better. Okay. 19 and 20 are similar, so I'm only going to do one of them. We'll do number 19. So a sum of rupees 8000 will amount to 8820 rupees in 2 years. Okay. If interest is calculated every year, the rate of interest is what? Now, you are given the principal, you are given the amount at the end of 2 years, you are given n. We are asked to find out the rate of interest. How do we know whether this is a compound interest problem or a simple interest problem? It is this. This is a very big hint that they are giving. They are saying if interest is calculated every year. Remember what I said, in simple interest, let us go back. The amount of simple interest every year is the same. So actually, that's because we are calculating the simple interest only on the original amount P. Okay, we are not calculating the simple interest on the amount at the end of the year. For example, simple interest in the second year is still calculated on the original amount invested and not on the amount at the end of the previous first year. Whereas in compound interest, we calculate interest every year on the amount at the end of the previous year, not on the original amount. Only in the first year in compound interest is interest calculated on the original amount. Interest on the next year is calculated on the amount at the end of the previous year. So in compound interest, the interest calculated in the second year will be calculated on the amount at the end of the first year. So here, when they say that interest is calculated every year, it means that they are referring to compound interest. Okay, you have to understand that. So let us calculate. So as I said, R is not given. P is 8000, A is 8820, N is 2 years. What is R? Solve for R. Here you will get R is 5%. Clear? Alright, coming back to number 12. A sum of money doubles itself at compound interest in 5 years. Okay, it's not on, it should be in. In how many years will it become 8 times? Now they've given a shortcut. We will do this as well as the long way because you can understand. So in 15 years, it is amount is doubling, that is it is becoming 2 times. P is becoming 2 times. So okay, in 30 years it will become 4 times. How did you get 15 into 2 is equal to, it will be 2 square, okay, because wait, what am I saying? Yeah, it will be 2 square because it is compound interest. Remember we said that the compound interest in the second year is calculated on the amount at the end of the previous first year. That is why it becomes 2 squared. So the years double, but the amount becomes squared. It doesn't become double, it becomes squared at the end of 30 years. The years become 3 times the original years. The amount becomes cube root. The amount becomes cube, 2 cube, because of the nature of compound interest. So it becomes 8 times the original amount. Therefore, the number of years taken to become 8 times is 45. I know this is hard to understand. So let us do it the traditional way. Okay. So let P be equal to X. A 2X twice, that is it becomes 2 times the principal. That's what they're saying at the end of 15 years. So let us put it as a formula. 2x is equal to x into 1 plus r by 100 whole thing raised to 15. Okay. So x and x get cancelled, and when you simplify you get r percent is equal to 15th root of 2 minus 1%. Now 15th root of 2 you can calculate it using a calculator, or you can use the log tables. Okay. Now we'll come to that soon. Now what they're saying is, in how many years will the amount x become 8 times? So again 8x is equal to x plus, what is r? 15 root 2 minus 1 divided by 100 whole thing, let it be raised to n. We don't know the years as yet. So x and x get cancelled. Okay. Then when you solve for n, you will get this expression. So x and x get cancelled. So we take the nth root of 8 is equal to 1 plus 15th root of 2 minus 1 divided by 100. This n gets cancelled because you're taking the nth root of 8. When you take the log of both sides, it becomes n ln 8 is equal to ln of this term. Therefore n is equal to ln of this term divided by ln 8. When you have a calculator or the log tables, you can easily solve for n. I don't have that, so that's why I'm leaving it here, but you should get the correct answer in this case also. I hope you have followed things so far. What I want you to understand is the difference between the simple interest. You know the formula for simple interest. You know how to calculate the compound interest. First we calculate the amount, then subtract the principal to get the compound interest. You know that in simple interest, the interest in the second year, for example, is still calculated on the original amount P. But in compound interest, in the second year, the compound interest is calculated on the amount at the end of the previous first year. That is A1. That is the difference between simple and compound interest. So keep practicing. Please put your comments in the comment section. Please get back to us with questions so that we can help you out with it. All the best, and we'll continue the lecture in the next class. Take care.